Please give a big welcome to Tommy Chong. Please. Please, sit down, please. No standing ovations, please.
Okay. Here at the Pepper Tree Bookstore in beautiful downtown Palm Springs is Tommy Chong, author of the book, The IChong.
If everybody really voted their conscience and realized that there's a greed culture right now that's sort of overwhelming the general population. It's a me culture, you know. It's like, what's in it for me, you know? And when you have that mindset, it's a destructive mindset, because the way Bush got in was because of fear. It was like, I'll protect you against these terrorists.
That's what I got in 2004.
Oh,
absolutely.
It's a fear. Everybody's afraid of losing the American way of life, you know. Oh my God, if they can do this to New York, they can do this anywhere, you know. And so the Bush and the boys, all the arms dealers, you know, that's who he represents, oil and arms. Mm-hmm. And when oil doesn't sell until there's a war, and then there's a war, then all of a sudden there's an oil shortage and the price goes up, and so greedy people make more money. But it only lasts for a small time. Like Hitler was only around for 6 years. He created a lot of havoc, but he was only 6 years, and he sort of defeated himself. And these guys will do the same thing.
Well, I would hope so. But, you know, you talked about people voting this kind of stuff. You know, in 11 states like California, voters have passed medical marijuana laws, but the government refuses to recognize what the people voted for. What do you do when you got a government that says, I don't care what the people votes, it's what we want?
Impeach him. Bush is so impeachable now.
I wish.
No, he is. He's impeachable.
Can't do it with Republican Congress.
But November comes, if we get enough Democrats in there, we can impeach him.
So are you telling people they should be voting for Democrats?
Absolutely.
Okay. All
Absolutely.
Right. That's really great. Has your experience with this DEA thing, has it changed you anyway in the way you view things or do things?
Well, I always have this urge of stripping naked and showing my butt to every cop I see, you know.
Is there any cops out there? Come on in.
Every time I see a cop, I just want to take off my pants and shove my butt in his face, you know.
You didn't want to do that before?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. I get urges like that now and then, you know.
So going to
stand there, lift up my, you know, and stick out my tongue and flick my ears.
So your experience with the DA makes people an exhibitionist.
Yeah, well, that's what they do. You know, they got a game called Strip, and then they search you for contraband.
You'd like that?
I got kind of used to it. You know? It was like you could say you could show them your political feelings by not saying anything, you know. Because I remember one time this Chinese guy, he kept bending over and spreading his cheeks, and the guy goes, "Okay, that's enough." And then he did it again, and the guy goes, "No, that's enough." Okay. And he did it again. He kept doing it. And then I got it. Oh, okay, the guy is talking to him. Hey, you talked to my butt.
That's great. Your movies and stuff were about marijuana, but they were more than that. They were a slap in the face to the establishment as things were going. How do you see marijuana today?
Well, marijuana is, and always has been, a medicine. And the reason it works is because it makes you feel good. And that's the first thing you have to do when you're trying to heal yourself. You have to somehow feel good. Somehow lift your spirit, somehow get an appetite, somehow smile, laugh at stupid things. If you can do that, then you set in the healing motions in your body. But if you can't, you die. Like if anger, hurt, jealousy, any negative emotions will kill a person. You know, that's how people die. They'll look at, you know, they'll operate on someone and they'll say, well, it's up to him. You know, if he has the will to live. Mm-hmm. Well, when you smoke pot makes you feel good. Pot gives you hope. Pot gives you an appetite. And so many people that are sick and wasting with AIDS and MS and cancers and people in wheelchairs that have, you know, phantom pain, you know, where their limbs are cut off and there's nothing else. If they smoke pot, it doesn't drug them. It doesn't make them feel nothing, mm-hmm. like pharmaceuticals do. Mm-hmm. Pot makes you feel love and life, and that's why it's important. And but they try to demonize it. You know, the Bush administration tried to demonize me, and they try to demonize the weed by calling it marijuana, for instance. You know, I was on a television show, and I told the lady. She asked me, "She's, are you still, doing that marijuana stuff?" I said, "No, actually, I'm more into hemp now." And she goes, "Well, okay, well that's good, but how about that marijuana?" I says, "It's the same plant." She goes, "No, it isn't." I says, "What is the difference?" She says, "Well, hemp, they make rope out of it, and marijuana that's where you get the flowers and you smoke that stuff." And I said, "You don't know anything, do you?" And she didn't. Yeah. She didn't know that hemp that's what you call marijuana, is hemp. Right. Marijuana is the Mexican name that the Hearst people put on it to demonize it, so everybody goes think, "Oh, they're smoking that evil marijuana, and then they're going to take an axe and kill their family." That's a mentality that these guys still got to this day. So I have to educate these people. I have to educate them, and I'm going on all these talk shows, and that's what I'm doing.
And that's what it's all about, is trying to educate people, and that's what this show is about: marijuana, compassion, common sense. And Mr. Chong, Tommy Chong, I want to thank you very much for being on our show and telling us all of what's going on. Really appreciate it, and best of luck with your tour. And this is book, the IChong. It's really great. It's all about his experiences in jail and the DEA raid on his glass factory. Thank you very much, sir. Yep, he's got something else to say.
Where's my bud, man?
Where's your bud?
No, my bud. You promised me some bud.
You come on over to my place and...
Oh, you got it at home?
Yeah. You want to come over?
Oh, I've heard that one before. No, I don't smoke anymore.
You don't smoke anymore?
No, I donate all my pot to the MS people.
Okay.
So it's all medical. But
yeah, go ahead.
But you give me some and I'll donate it for you.
Well, I've got some at home.
How much?
How much do you want?
Okay, cut. We better not show that.
And then with love came the knowledge of why I was and am a comedian. Because you can't love and not laugh at the same time. It's impossible. It's a realization that when you realize how much love there is inside of you, that realization makes you laugh. Because it's a joyful realization. And that's what comedians do. That's what we do. As comedians, what we do, we find truth. And when we find truth, we find the funny part of that truth. Okay, so thanks again.